Okay, in this video we want to find the intersection of these two equations. And here you might recognize that we have a circle. And here we have a line. And I want to rewrite the line so it says y equals, and then it gives me y in terms of x, because I don't like how this is clustered up. So let's work with that first. That equation says y minus 2 over negative 2 equals x minus 2. So all I'm going to do is multiply both sides by negative 2. And what will happen there, because I'm dividing by negative 2 on the left side, if I multiply by negative 2, this negative 2 will be canceled out. Right? Imagine negative 2 divided by negative 2, and what we have left is y minus 2. On the right side of the equation, we have negative 2 times x minus 2. If I distribute the negative 2, I get negative 2x and then plus 4, right? And then I'm going to add this 2 to both sides, so I get y equals negative 2x plus 4 plus 2. And then y equals negative 2x plus 6. So now I have this equation of this line and this circle up here, and I'm going to use algebra, right, to find where these two pictures of these two graphs meet. But of course, I should test this out and actually graph it. And if you're able to do this, then set it up. I think it's a really nice feature. So what do we have first? Well, let me go back and check real quick. Okay, negative 2x plus 6. So let's set that one up. We have negative 2x plus 6. And that's, of course, is going to give us a line. It's a linear equation, and there it is. And then we have our circle. So the circle equation is start x squared, and this is just Grapher, a program I have on my Mac here, plus y minus 1 squared, and then equals 5. So you can see it here that our circle, right, and our line meet at one point. So in this example, right, we know right away that we're going to meet at one point, and you can see it's about at 2, 2 right here. So let's see how this works out. So to solve this, right, one way I can solve it is to plug in what I have for this equation on my line into the circle, right, to plug this in. Because I know at some point they're equal. So by substituting this value into the first equation, all right, I'm assuming they're equal and substituting, and I can solve for x and y, because by substituting this in, right, to this equation right here, I'm defining this equation of the circle in all terms of x, which means I only have one variable, and that's really, well, it's much easier to work with. So now I have x squared, right, and I'm rewriting this equation, plus, now instead of y minus 1, I'm going to use this equation here. So instead of y, I'm going to write negative 2x plus 6, and that's my y term. Minus 1 squared equals 5. So now I'm going to simplify this in here. We get negative 2x, right, plus 5. We're squaring that, so we'll multiply it by itself, right, equals 5, and we have x squared over here. Right. Multiply this out, we get x squared plus 4x squared, right, minus 20x plus 25 equals 5. All I did there was use my distributive property, and now I have, by simplifying, 5x squared minus 20x, subtract 5 from both sides, and we get plus 20 equals 0. Now at this point I want to factor out my 5, so I get 5 times x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. And my final step is to divide both sides by 5. So now I get x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. Right, because dividing the left side by 5 cancels this 5 out, and dividing 0 by 5 gives me 0. And now I have a situation where I can't find factors of 4 that add to negative 4. So I'm going to use my quadratic equation. And of course that says that we have to identify a, b, and c. So a is 1, right? B is negative 4, and c is positive 4. And x will have to equal negative b, and b is already negative 4, so negative negative 4, that's positive 4, plus or minus the square root, right, of b squared, which is 16, minus 4ac, which is also 16, right? 4 times a, which is 1, times 4 is 16, all over 2 times a, or 2 times 1. Now this is going to give us, right, x equals 4 plus or minus 0. So one nice thing to recognize is that, of course, this is our discriminant in here, and when that equals 0, it's only going to be one intersection. And that's only because if you add or subtract 0, right, nothing changes. In other words, we don't get 2 points. If this has some positive value, adding and subtracting can change my answer and give me 2 points. But when it's 0, there's only 1 point. So 4 plus or minus 0 is just 4. That's over 2, and that's our x value of 2. Now to find the y value, I'm just going to plug it into the easier of these two equations, which is my rewritten form of the line over here. So if x is 2, what's y? Well, y equals negative 2, right, times 2 plus 6. And that is what? Well, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, plus 6 is 2. And that's our point. That's exactly 2, 2, right, where these two equations meet. And we saw that right here on the graph. All right, hope that helped.